Hello guys, hope you're all doing well. This is TJ and you're listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. Yesterday was so busy day, man. I wasn't able to upload new contents. I actually watched late night AW Double or Nothing. It was so good, man. I was kind of going to half asleep, but I watched the whole show nonetheless, and it was great. We will discuss upon that in my next video. Next video is coming about in 1 hour or so, and I'm getting into now the Dark Side of the Ring, the Ultimate Warrior version. We had discussed A&E biography, which was very deep and more lengthy, I would say, than this. As we know, Dark Side of the Ring kind of had that 45 minute is a 45-minute version. So I expected that they would some kind of that legal battle that Ultimate Warrior had. They would have focused on that, but they didn't do that. Um, I would say. You can watch this, but don't miss out A&E biography. That was more detailed, and that was not known about anything about Ultimate Warrior. If you are like that, you should really watch A&E biography. If you had followed many times, then you can sure only watch Dark Side of the Ring version. So let's get into it then. What all happened here? So this episode actually began with her first wife, Sherry Tyree. Her name is Sherry Tyree, and she explains actually how she and Warrior met and describes their first date and the experience and all, and how he had an incredible physique because of how he was very into his life to given his life to bodybuilding. He was so into it. He was hardworking for 5 to 6 years, as we saw in any biography, and he also once realized that he wanted to become like he had this end goal that he wanted to become doctor of chiropractor. Chiropractor doctorate is a doctor who actually actually focuses on the body parts and all, and the medications that you should take for any pain or something. I think that's what chiropractor means. I think so. And actually, after he was after he was has beefed up into that bodybuilding, he was going into becoming a chiropractor. But Sting actually met Ultimate Warrior, and Sting actually convinced Warrior that they two of them can live together and grow together in wrestling, and that's when they formed a tag team called the. Many such informations we saw here were already been seen in the A&E biography. Nothing much new here, but they formed a tag team called Freedom Fighters, and they debuted in Memphis, and the two would be later be renamed as the Blade Runners in the UWF. And it was kind of clear that becoming clear that Sting was kind of wanted to hard work on this wrestling landscape, and was willing to kind of improve. But whereas Warrior didn't have that kind of mindset. He just think about like, I'm the biggest guy, I can be over. Fans looking to me, I could be over by looking at me. That was the kind of mindset that he had, and he thought that his charisma alone can bring about all the things that he wanted to. So eventually, actually, wanted to uh, Warrior leaves Sting, and he wanted to go alone. But actually, in any biography, we seen that they had some dissension, but in Dark Side of the Ring, they didn't say that he wanted to go away. That's pretty much explained there. So there were, I think, it feel this Dark Side of the Ring documentary felt like there were many points that were cut down because of A&E biography explained most of the things. So they cut down many things, like over explanation. They didn't do that because you already know that. So maybe they had done that cut. And he was eventually firstly called as Dingo Warrior. We had seen that, and he was on Vince McMahon's radar because he was big, and those were the times when big guys had the eyes on Vince McMahon, and his but his wrestling was being his wrestling skills and wrestling was being criticized by many wrestlers in the locker room and all. And he kind of was not much of a very good wrestler. He was a kind of a superhero type character who had shown a little interest as well in being a wrestler. He just wanted to become a star, make money, and be fame, and that was his goal actually. And he eventually go to WWF. He dropped the name Dingo, and he was called as Ultimate Warrior by decided by Vince McMahon. And from that point, he was known as the Ultimate Warrior that we know today. And Paul Heyman actually said that his he Vince McMahon really tried to build Ultimate Warrior as a top star, bigger than Hulk Hogan, and he eventually had gone to that epitome actually, that top actually. But his own expectations and own things, own mind and mindset and all, really broke him up. And Warriors matches, where if you see that his matches, his entrance, and all his persona, his presentation of character had so much intensity and kind of urgeness to do whatever he can. And the power of Warriors kind of he does soaking them up. And it was kind of very superhero kind of a character. I will say that Ultimate Warrior was more cartoonish character than Hulk Hogan. Even Hulk Hogan was like that, but Ultimate Warrior was the most superhero type of character that you can see at that time. And we saw Jim Ross also saying that his promos were nonsensical, and his actually wrestling matches were quite terrible because he didn't do that much. He just runs away and he just clothesline, he just power slam and all, just picks his opponent and slams him down. He was very limited in his limited in his wrestling, but he got so over in that as well. That was very good. And but his character was kind of off the charts, and the fans loved it actually, more than Hulk Hogan actually. At the point when they had when they were going to have that WrestleMania 6 match, and at this time Warrior was being pushed by so much. And the other superstars didn't felt like that he was entitled to get that push, because he was not good in wrestling as well. And his kind of behavior and talk, the way he talks to people, he was not like that. He didn't talk to people respectfully. And we also saw a point where they had a talk where prior to SummerSlam main event, he actually negotiated a contract with McMahon to have the same thing that Hulk Hogan had. And he was very furious and actually met Jake the Snake Robert, because Vince McMahon said to Jake the Snake Robert that you're getting that WWE title push with Ultimate Warrior, but you should ask Ultimate Warrior. And Jake the Roberts asked, why the hell I should ask him, because you are the boss. Why should I ask for him to the permission? You are the boss here. That's pretty correct. But it was like that, and he said it was a thing that you should do, as Vince McMahon said. And McMahon actually felt like Hulk Hogan's career was getting over, and he wanted to. And the time was correct, I would say. He had really ruled the 80s period, and getting into 90s, new guys were coming up, new fresh guys, Shawn Michaels and all, and you needed to have that. But I would say the cartoonish era was kind of getting over actually. Vince McMahon didn't felt like that. And I'm not saying to Ultimate Warrior, but Vince McMahon dropping on Ultimate Warrior is not is bad actually. But he really ruined himself. And after all, that would have been not over, I would say, after 6 and 7 years, because the cartoonish era was getting completed, as I say. So WWE needed a fresh face. That's why Vince McMahon had that uh, pushed him actually. And he had the time when he actually had the match. And Jake Roberts and Ultimate Warrior had something backstage going on, some something was going on. I don't remember that what he made the comment. He really disrespected, his comments were very really disrespecting. So Jake Roberts didn't like that, because how he was kind of talking to him. So it was very bad how he talked. That behavior led to Jake Roberts become very angry, but he controlled his anger because he wanted that push that he was going to get, as Vince McMahon said, because was going to get the WWE title push, and so that's why. So the way he talked, that behaved, and all the whole environment, the body language that he displayed was very unprofessional, because he didn't want to get over in the business, as we see in this documentary we can see that he just wanted to become famous, and that was that. But uh, he actually partially gets success in that for a brief period, I would say. But he actually sunk upon, because of his own demons actually. And we see then the WrestleMania 6 match, uh, between Hulk Hogan, and he won. He retained Intercontinental, and he won the WWE Championship. He was a double champion, and he was at the top. And this was the time when actually he was actually divorced. With his wife Tyree, because Tyree actually discovered that her husband actually had some relationship going on with some woman, and he wasn't taking the call, or she actually listened the voice of a woman. So Tyree actually was heartbroken, and uh, she then divorced him. And she didn't wait for that long. She After 9 years or so, they were married in 1981, 82 or something. They She divorced him, and post that, Warrior's status in WWE was kind of up in that point. But his personal life was not going good. And this was a time when he actually wrote the letter to McMahon, effectively having a list of demands that he wanted to, having be treated as same as Hogan in terms of dates, pay, and merchandise. And Tyree actually, Sherry Tyree, his wife, ex-wife, actually had been called upon by Ultimate Warrior to discuss upon that. And Tyree said that, don't give this. This is not good, and this is very unprofessional. Don't do this. But he eventually did that, and he eventually had his own neck hung upon, because uh, McMahon actually responded by saying that we would discuss upon that, because they actually had advertised Jake Roberts in SummerSlam matchup. But they had some match. This was not a Jake Roberts match, but he had some interference, and where he was running with the chair to the back, and he actually straight away into the gorilla position. Vince McMahon actually gave him the suspension and the uh, firing letter that he got. And it was very bad by Vince McMahon as well, because if you don't, if you wanted to say that, you should have said that you don't wanted to give him the all the privileges that he actually asked. But the way he actually the way he wanted to do was that like that, because Vince McMahon wanted to be safe, and he just did that. And he just turns around to Jake Robert and says, "You're a very bad lucky guy, man, because you had no luck, because his WWE title status is gone, and all the things that he had planned that gone." And Jake Roberts was very angry at that time. He was just wanted to kill him, but he didn't do that. And 4 years later, because in this meantime, in this 4 years, he had actually opened the gym and all for the young bodybuilders. And also we saw his comic book stuff that he actually written. He actually was changed the name to Warrior as well, as original name Jim Halwick to Warrior. And because Ultimate Warrior was with the WWE, so he changed his name to Warrior. And post that, we saw in 1996, where they were trying to bring him back, because Vince McMahon is like that. He just wanted to do what's best for him. Even if he's a murderer or something, he would be calling him up. That's the nature of Vince McMahon. He wanted to just business is first for him, and that's that's like that. And Warrior actually wanted that fame as well, because he wanted to thrive as well. Because because in those 4 years he didn't make a name, and he wanted that name again. He wanted to come back. He wanted to be in that spotlight, and that was thing that he wanted to. And the money as well, he was getting going to get. And he eventually debuted in returned in 1996 Royal WrestleMania, actually, where he squashed Triple H, who was very young and was just starting out. He just started off 1995, so he didn't it didn't harm him, because he actually Warrior actually didn't sell the pedigree, and that was then, because that didn't harm him. But the way he did, but was not good, because Ultimate Warrior was not at a peak time, and his character was not being would not be getting over, because that cartoonish era was getting over. And Vince McMahon realized that the merchandise sales and all was not going up, and the way the fans actually were responding was not at the time where that was in late 90s or something. But it was changed, the environment was changed, and so he eventually fires him, eventually release him, Ultimate Warrior. And we then saw Ultimate Warrior getting to his internet things, that he goes on to write his in his blogging website, ultimatewarrior.com. He actually public rants and all, very sensitive subjects, speeches and posts that were actually focused upon racist comments and all the things. That's bad for the that's bad speaking that he was doing, because he didn't converted. He didn't show us what he did in the early careers, because he was so very different in that. But his first wife had said that in any biography, that because he's now changed. But even though that, I won't say that. If you have done something, that's done, man. And you said that, not like you are you just kind of kind of you are missing out something. Not like that, you have fall the glass down. That's not like that, because you are speaking for half an hour, 1 hour, such type things, and you are not out of the mind, you are in the mind, so you're speaking from your heart, actually. So I won't justify that. But then we saw some clips as well, for the household things that he had said. I don't want to say in this documentary. You can really get into that in the Google. And they finally fast forwarded into 2014 time, and they didn't focus that legal battles and all backside of the ring. I actually expected that they would be focusing, but they didn't. And he was invited in 2014. Same thing stuff that we see in 20 in A&E Biography. And Roberts said the new thing was, Roberts actually describes waiting backstage to beat him up, because he didn't get the opportunity. But Warrior's apology, and Warrior apologized to him, and he calmed down then. And that was it. Post WrestleMania, sorry, post World Hall of Fame, he was actually invited to Raw to cut a promo, and he cuts a promo. And Jim Ross also said that we didn't expect that he would be going such after this in a such short span of time, because he actually cut in a promo that he said that life is not guaranteed. It can be gone anytime. And that Jim Ross said, we didn't expect that would be such fast, I mean, say. He says. And it was a great speech. And he actually died just hours later after the Raw show. And next morning, when he was leaving the hotel, he suffered a heart attack and died. And Tiny mentions earlier as well in the episode that his father and mother were passed on in 50, and his doctor actually had said that he would be as well. We would be had have that thing, that he would be passed away in age 84, age 54. So it was very sad to listen. But it was like that. He did many wrong things, but the brief friend that he had, I would say, even though his wrestling skills was not good, he was over, and he did create movements, and did bring about intensity, and he did have had kids fans base, just like we had in 2010s John Cena kind of thing, because that's the last superstar who had that kid friendly kind of thing, gimmick that he had. So that's it. This was a documentary. So this was a documentary that was very underwhelming, kind of okay, I would say, but not like past Dark Side of the Ring. I actually enjoy watching Dark Side of the Ring, but this was, I don't know what, it's because of any biography or something, but this was not detailed as well. So sure, watch any biography, because that had more things laid upon, more things has been explained there. So if you know that all the history of Ultimate Warrior, you can sure watch Ultimate Dark Side of the Ring only. But if you don't know, you sure watch any biography, and then you can watch. You would not be missing that much in this Dark Side of the Ring. You can read it out as well, if you don't want to watch 45 minutes. But you can watch, if you want to watch, sure it watch 10 to 15 minutes, because the emotional things that Sherry Terry had, and she was so naive, because she didn't appreciate the fact that her husband actually cheated on her, and she actually loved him, but that was that, and she didn't found that thing. So that was that. So this was the documentary. So be sure to like, share, subscribe for more wrestling content like this. And I will be uploading the AW Double or Nothing review in a short span of time. Be please check out that. So be sure to share, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, be safe, stay energetic, peace.